Hello YouTube, it's Badboysei here with Don't Die Dave, and we're going to have, we've got some news for you, mainly bad, but we've also got a conversation as well that we're going to have. Now, before we get into it, I just want to explain that this is actually our second take of this, because the first take, my laptop decided that it wanted to use its own microphone instead of the microphone that I use for everything else, so it sounded completely and utterly shit. So I do apologise if we maybe repeat a few things, because you have to understand all this is repeating what we've already said anyway, but we'll try and get through it as smoothly as possible. Anyway, say hello David.
Alright guys.
And we'll kick it off straight away then. Let's get it done. Right, the first one we're looking at is Rent a Server. Okay, the program is now out for Xbox. It was out for PS4 and PC a little bit earlier, a couple of days or something like that. Now, as you may know, we promised to have a server up and running for you. It was going to be there. It was advertised. Not advertised, but we promoted it. It's on my channel, David's channel, the Clan channel, and the Clan website. It's everywhere. We're not going to do it. And David will kick it off as to explaining why.
Yeah. It's like there's so many places to start, but the biggest one that caught our eye to start with was the no banners.
Now, just quickly for people who don't know, the banners are on Battlefield 4 in the bottom left, I believe. Bottom left? Yeah, bottom left. You had a banner.
Bottom left. Usually stretch across.
Yeah, stretch across that you could make up for your clan or for the server itself. And it was a way of promoting. It was also a way of explaining about clan invitations, or if you'd be interested in things like that. So what's gone wrong with the banner, David?
You're not allowed to do them. What's gone wrong? It ain't there. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, pretty much EA have decided we're not allowed, any artistic freedom. And the banners are no longer there. Now, we were going to set up the server because, one, we play Battlefield a hell of a lot, or we did, but we'll get into a bit more of that later. But we play Battlefield a hell of a lot, and having a server just makes sense. But if you haven't noticed, both me and Don't Die Dave, we're kind of new to this. Plus we have a website that we're building, or David's building, and I just get to go along as if I helped. And also, it meant we could have some promotion on there, i.e. saying, look, this is what we're about. We're not asking for money. There's nothing about that. It's just simply, we're trying to look to build a community. And that's immediately been taken away from us. And that's just point one. What else you got there?
The lack of options. There's just no... It's hard to say without people actually seeing it and knowing what you could do previously, but basically there's just not a lot for you to do there. There's a couple of quick fixes it allows you to do, but there's like no customization. It's very limited. You can do A, B or C.
Pretty much. And I think that's the biggest point that you make. The fact that we used to be able to do this. It's not like it was a feature that was never there and it's still not there. It's a feature that was standard, and now it's gone. Now,
yeah,
lack of customization, literally with this, ranges from the basics, like being able to kick or ban unruly arseholes, making sure that they can't screw up the end or the enjoyment for everyone else. And then it goes to the other point, things such as, how many maps and what rotation. Now, you can choose maps. You can choose 6 of them in a game that comes with 9 base maps as standard. You're allowed 6 maps in a rotation.
And there's more maps coming as well, so
yeah,
it's like
by DLC, and if there's only this free one that's coming in December, there'll be 25 maps. but you're allowed 6 of them on a rotation. How's that for good gaming? But
Do you know what my favourite one is?
go on.
My favourite one is if you rent a server and your server is full, you can't use it.
Oh yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah, how
You can let
dare
other people use it, but dare you want to use your own thing? That's a no-no.
Yeah, I mean, if the server's full, why should you be allowed to use your server? I mean, that's wrong thinking along them lines.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, the kick and ban is one thing, but the fact that you're not even allowed to get in as server owner, I might add, which is another point. There's no admins either now. You can't make anyone an admin. So it's not like there's much customization or choices to be made by anyone, but it means that it's only solely the person who rented the server. But no one can get in if it's full, and you can't change any options while in game, but you can't see who's in the game if you're out of game. So it basically means that you can't do shit while you're inside, but you can see who's inside, or you can do the very, very bare minimum that they allow you to do outside, but not actually see who's in there. So I wouldn't know if Don't Die Dave is in there sorting something or checking something out or something like that, and I might go, right, okay, well this needed change, I remember that, and I change it, and that screws up whatever he had to be inside to see whether it was working or not. It's that kind of ridiculous concept that, but again, we go back to, we had all this in Battlefield 4 and Hardline, I believe. We didn't rent a server in Hardline, but I believe in Hardline it was the same base as Battlefield 4, I think. Well, no, I was always in rented servers, and it was always felt the same kind of way.
Well, we'll kind of jumping the gun a bit because, you know, to even do these options, there'd need to actually be some servers available in Europe.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
that would probably help.
Yeah. The reason we're having to do this by what we can see from the original renter server page and from what we've scanned the internet. I mean, I've literally found something, then double-checked it and double-checked it again to make sure that first one weren't exaggerating it. And I've had to do it all like that, and David's had to do it all like that, because you can't rent a server in Europe at the moment because there's none available. Can't rent one in West US or East US because there's none available. So, unfortunately, if you haven't rented a server by now and live in those areas, you're either going to have to rent in South America, or you're going to have to a certain extent, take our word for it. Or just check the internet, because it's not hard to find this about this on the internet. Is there any other gems that we have regarding the servers?
Any other gems? Well, the lack of description, I find. Anyone who goes to actually use it, obviously we've already said there's not a lot of options, but even the options that are there, they're not very descriptive. Like, let me give you guys some examples. For example, we've got friendly fire. Okay, pretty much everyone should know what that means. Can you shoot your people on your team? Yes or no. But then it leads to other things such as name tags, on and off. Now, that leaves a lot to the imagination. Does it show people's names? Does it not show people's names? Does it show people on your team with names? Or does it show people on the other team with names? Do you have to highlight people to show names? Are the names always on? Who knows?
And also, quite simply, do you see your squad names as something different? Or are they still the same blue? Or if they're even blue, they could be red for all I know, and blue for the enemy team, knowing how much EA has changed. It could be the total opposite of what it used to be. But it doesn't give you much detail. There's no little bit of, paragraph just saying, this is blah, blah, blah. Now, as you say, friendly fire, everyone should know about. Let's face it, they do it enough on Battlefield 1. So, that should be, an easy, quick couple of sentences, just in case anyone weren't totally sure. But, I mean, some of these things you would only be able to fully check by renting a server. But then you'd have to rent the server, change the the setting, go into it, see what it's like, then come back out of it, then change the setting again, then go back in and see what's changed. And I've just knocked over a can. And see what's changed, and then come back out and then change it back if you didn't like it, because you have no ability to change settings within the game. You have to be outside the game to do it. So not only do they not tell you what they are, testing them to find out yourself is a total and utter ball ache. And no, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a comment about our next subject. Sorry. So is there anything else about the renter server apart from how much you hate it and it's an absolute load of bollocks that EA ever did it?
There's only 2 points we got. The one is we apologise. We were going to do one, but for the time being, until we see any changes, we're just not going to do it. It's hard to get something when we're not going to use it. It's like recommending something for someone, but if you ain't going to use it yourself, why would anyone else use it?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I don't want you for a second to ever think that we weren't honest with it, because trust me, if they put in even some of the basic things they put in and it's still not great, we'll still get a server. Because as long as they can make it so that it's something we'd enjoy, then we feel that it's right to show that we enjoy it, if you get what I mean. Because if we set up a server now, I don't think I might have a game once a week. I wouldn't be putting in the hours like I normally would. Do you get me?
No.
And that would be us advocating, saying, yeah, well, we think it's kind of shit, but still, here's our name, play with it. We just don't believe in that kind of thing. So we do want to apologise. Don't for a second think we weren't being truthful about it, and don't for a second think it means if it did change in the right direction, we wouldn't show that we were truthful then, because immediately there'd be a server up and you'd see us on it. It's not a matter of that. We want to apologise mainly because we don't want you to think that we weren't being honest, because we will always be honest. Normally to a fault, but we will always be honest. Shall we get on to the next sunshiny subject we got?
The last thing we do have to say, and it's just to cover it because people might mention it, it is in beta at the moment.
Oh,
yeah. Now, yeah, that's kind of a big thing. People might say it's a silver lining. It's hard to judge something when it's not fully available, but at the same time, it's hard not to judge it, considering it's been available for every other game for so long.
Yeah, but a beta based on Battlefield 4, with them trying new things, would be fine, because this is what you have had. We're trying to improve it in certain ways, so it is a beta at the moment, because there may be a few features that don't work. That would be fine. That's absolutely fine, because at that point it's kind of like, well, okay, but to go back to bare basics of, not even bare basics, this is less than basic for certain things, and then say, oh, but it's okay, it's a beta, things might change. That's a cop-out. It is a bit. True cop-out. Something that I can only think of 2 publishers, not going to say there were names, but 2 publishers that would do it. Yeah, I think everyone else has some form of loyalty to fans. I mean, these are not little games. I put in 500 hours into Battlefield 4, and I know people that are putting in way more than that. I put into Battlefield Hardline quite a bit as well. We keep that one quiet.
Even I played that one quite a bit.
But the thing is, you can say what you want to think about Battlefield Hardline. At least it's stuck to the basics of what a Battlefield game is, in the respect that it has the systems.
Yes.
Because Battlelog is one step above hell for me in a lot of ways. Slow, clunky, but at least you could rent a server in the correct way. At least you had platoons, so you had some form of clan stuff on there. This new UI is very nice. It's very smooth. I really do like it. But I'd rather features over cosmetic. But that's me personally. Like I say, that's a personal opinion. Yeah. Other people may feel different.